Hello redesigners and welcome back to the channel.
Hi everyone. Today we're talking about something that is going to surprise you.
Are we going to talk about why I never let you speak in a video?
No. Today we're going to talk about how RV life can save your marriage.
Yep, you've heard that right. If you are facing challenges in your relationship, we're going to dive into something that could be a game changer, and that is, well, RV living.
Yep.
And so we want you to sit back and grab a cup of coffee.
Get comfy.
And let's dive into how life on the road can be a game changer and bring you and your partner even closer together.
Aww.
Now, you would think after being married for 30 years that Karri and I have been through it all. And well, in fact, we have. We've had some good times.
And not so good times.
And we've managed to kind of power through all of that. And we are big proponents, and that communication is a key factor in what keeps our marriage going.
Absolutely.
All these smiles that you've seen over the past few weeks in our date videos and stuff like that, that's taken a long time to get there after raising our kids and being empty nesters. And now, before we go any further,
yes.
Okay, you do have to have, no matter what, we can say things all day long, you have to have a solid foundation in which to build your marriage or your relationship on. And that is, a lot of it's going to be communication. That's something you're going to hear over and over again, is about communication.
Absolutely.
And not keeping surprises from one another. Karri and I like to firmly believe that we have told each other everything. And, well, that's where today's video sponsor comes in. Today's video sponsor could change the core fundamentals of our entire marriage. For those of you who've been around the channel for a while, you do know that both of my parents, well, they're deceased. In fact, my mother travels with us till this very day.
She really does.
And as far as your parents go?
I have a mom somewhere out there. I have a biological father out there somewhere. And my dad, who I always call my dad, is deceased.
So what we're going to present to you today is really, when they reached out to us, we were beyond elated to take the opportunity, because it's something we've always wanted to do. And that is, we're going to talk to you today about our incredible partnership with MyHeritage.
Now, MyHeritage is a leading global family history and DNA service that makes exploring your family history easier than ever.
Now, MyHeritage has a DNA test that they send you in a little box just like this. As a matter of fact, this is the box.
That is the box.
And it takes literally 2 minutes of your time to do a DNA swab. And it's really as simple as taking out a cotton swab.
A little cheek swab.
Do a little cheek rub action. Make a little faces while you're doing it. You pop it in the mail, and then boom, you get some results. And now, hey, they have an ethnicity estimate, a percentage breakdown of your origins across 42 supported ethnicities and 2,114 geographic regions.
That's
I got that
scary.
all on one thing. And it also will surprise you with DNA matches, and this is new relatives, potential matches, potential relatives that are all based on shared DNA. Now, we've been holding this back. In fact, nobody knows the results. Karri and I do not know each other's results.
Nope.
We're going to share them with you. We haven't told the kids that we're doing this, because we actually have a lot of questions in our own family trees. And, you know, at least we have branches. We know that. But we are going to share with you the results of my testing first. And at the end of the video, we're going to share Karri's. So, are you ready?
I'm scared, but yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Okay, now, before I get that result on screen for you and you see my expressions in real time, we wanted to point out something very important here. MyHeritage is committed to their privacy policy to never sell or license genetic data. And that's very important.
That's very important.
Especially when it came to us talking to them and allowing this collaboration to continue. So I just wanted to make sure that I cover that basis. Now, are you ready, Karri?
I don't know, my hands are sweaty.
We're going to show you in real time what this is going on, and we're going to play this behind. We'll put this on screen, and you can see both of us and what our reactions are. Some of this I do know because, well, I have talked to my parents once or twice. Okay, wait a minute. North and West European, 82.1.
Well, that's
Okay, Italians coming in 11.5. 4. I think my parents had some
Wow.
explaining to do here.
Wow.
Oh, this is interesting. Finnish, 4.2% Finnish.
Really?
Oh,
This is
geez.
so strange.
Middle Eastern. Oh, 1.2%. Okay. That
Well,
explains some of the dark skin. Oh, geez.
your big long beard.
Wow, this is
Oh
crazy.
boy.
So just so you guys know, wow, this is actually really incredible. So 82.1% North and West European. We're watching this on a screen behind you. This for you will be real time. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and
But 11% Italian?
wow, apparently I have family over in Italy that I need to make some phone calls to.
He can make a mean sauce. You should be more Italian than that.
I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah, me too.
Wow, hopefully she doesn't go asking for a refund.
Wow, hello.
But yeah, this here,
Wow.
that's crazy. And for limited time, but we'll have to dive into this more. Obviously, this also has given me a whole bunch, over 1,000 possible siblings, stuff. If you haven't done this already, you need to jump out and check out My Heritage. We'll leave a link in the video description so that you too can jump on this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
For once, I'm speechless. But yes, check out the video description. There'll be a link
Great.
below so that you can join My Heritage and find out where you're from. My Heritage has decided to offer you, our viewers, a special code for free shipping, and you can use that code ReDesigner. We'll put that on the screen and get free shipping on your order.
Yeah, now see, you saw yours, and now I'm afraid I'm going to have a laundry list at the end of mine.
Ooh, stick around for that one. Okay, wow, now I have to, we're going to have a lot more conversations off camera.
Yeah.
But this is going to jump right in here. The first thing that we want to talk about keeping your marriage fresh and going is really what we just showed you, which is communication is key.
You deceived me.
If you're not communicating with your partner, especially in such a confined space. Now, keep in mind, our travel trailer that Karri and I live in full time is only tip to tail, like 26 feet. That means usable space is somewhere around 22 to 23 feet length by 8 feet wide. That's it. There are shipping containers that are bigger than our living space, which means that communication plays a big thing.
Yeah.
Because when we have an argument, not only does the whole RV park know,
Yep.
but there's no way for her to hide. And
No.
I'm going to be fair here and say that Karri and I have had, in the 2 years that we've been full-time,
3.
We've had 3 major blowouts. And I'm talking major to the point where we're shocked that somebody didn't call the police on us just because we're loud by nature.
Yep.
And there was no, obvious violence here or anything
No.
like that. But it does get loud and it does get...
Walls are thin.
yeah. So really the communication thing is important. That's something Karri and I still work on. And we like to take a step back. We like to breathe in. And now we're learning to communicate because it is a smaller space. That's a big deal, especially during RV life. But once you dial that in, oh my God, it's great. Karri and I, at this point in our lives, and again, this could change if we don't remember to take a deep breath. But at this point, Karri and I have pretty much a great system to recognize each other and to deal with a situation as it arises. To
Yeah.
not let it become something that we let blow up 3 months down the road.
It's very easy to take advantage of the other person because
Absolutely.
you're so used to the day-to-day grind, right? So you just expect certain things all the time. And that's just not how it is out here because it's different every single day.
Absolutely. So this RV life and just small space living, and this could be a tiny home, this could be anything, a small little homestead, but really when you're together and you're forced to be together, you really have to learn how to communicate. And communication is so important. All the jokes that we make, that is really a top thing to have in your relationship if you want it to last. And that brings us up to the second point here, Karri, which is
Quality time.
and that's something we've been sharing a little more with you guys behind the scenes. You've seen videos over the past few weeks. There's been Karri and I doing a date day. Karri is taking me on helicopter rides, and this was not part of a meet the sponsor video setup. This was just legitimately something that we had forgotten to be And that is, well, let's face it, a married couple. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind of chores and moving your rig and emptying that black tank and making that video and getting all those things that together that you forget that you are.
We're just human. We're married, we're human, and we're together, and we do things, but just not as often as we used to, or it's not as on purpose as it used to be.
Now, if you've been a fan of the channel for a long time, from the beginning when we started, we used to share all our dates with everybody because that's all we did. If we went out, we filmed and we shared that. And somewhere along the lines, as our channel grew, we've seen this trend on YouTube that people want to see less of travel and more of this style format. And well, Karri and I got caught up in that, and we stopped making videos that we wanted to do, and we made videos that our audience wanted. And while that's good for clicks, it's not always good for your relationship. So now Karri and I have gone and made it a point that we're going to do things the way we want to do them. And we're not worried about meeting clicks or meeting agendas. We're worried about, well, just having fun and having that all-important date day. That's why you've seen the change in our channel over the past few months, because it really has gotten out of control.
And it's nice to know us as people. Like, you'll get to know us as people versus just those YouTubers that, you know, do this video or that video. We're people. Like, we have feelings. We do things.
It's important to remember that you don't need to meet a society goal or expectation of what your relationship should be. You need to do something for yourself. And that's no different being on that side of the camera than it is on this side of the camera, is you have to take time to concentrate on yourself as a unit and do what you need to do versus what everybody else expects you to do.
Right.
The next one comes into play, which is shared responsibilities and teamwork. And that's something that RV life does force you to have really quick. And it's not about just anything other than, well, look at this. Every time we move, Karri has a list that she has to do, and I have a list that I have to do. And we've talked about this in many videos.
Yep.
But if we don't do our jobs correctly, guess what? Our rig doesn't go anywhere.
And we used to do them separately. For the longest time, I would just do in here and he would just take care of the outside. So now I go outside with him. We get everything situated. We both come in and he handles his work area and whatever. And we do it together, and it's so much easier and it's less stressful. You don't even know.
And having that collaborative effort, right? That joint effort gives us both a stake in this, and it not only in the RV life, but in our marriage as well. So if we're used to making decisions together about which exit we're going to take or how many times we're going to stop to pee, well, that is important, and it carries over in our day-to-day lives. And we've noticed this quite a bit more as months have gone by, this year in particular, where we're staying in places a little longer and you kind of forget how to, how to hook up and how to do those things. And then it starts carrying over to, well, what do you want for dinner? And then it's something that we want together versus I just want meat every night.
Or I just took something out. This is what we're having. He's like, I don't want that. I'm like, too bad. We don't do that anymore.
So having those shared responsibilities that are kind of forced with this RV lifestyle, it does spill over into everything, and it makes your relationship so much stronger. Okay, now this one, as I jump back in here and catch my talking points, is really a game changer. And this is one of the biggest reasons we are so glad that we chose RV life for this next chapter of our life, and that is simply simplifying life. And that equals less stress. So we no longer have to worry about, well, is the mortgage going to get paid? Is the lawn going to get mowed? Is the snow going to get plowed? Is there enough oil in the tank? We don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. And it sounds like, well, you're trading it on one level for propane in your rig and everything else, but let me tell you something. I worry a hell of a lot less about storms and stuff like that coming through. In fact, we just went through 3 hurricanes over the past couple of months, and had we been stationary in our home, all hell could have broken loose. However, simply just seeing things, it's as easy as a couple of mouse clicks and I'm down the road and we're off somewhere else. And that is a game changer. And I keep saying game changer, but it is.
It really is.
When it just simplifies everything. If we're going to be in an area and there's a major storm coming through, well, we just don't be there. We don't like an area, or we feel that an area is causing us stress. we leave. If we're in the city area and we don't want to be in a city area, guess what? We're here at the beach. There's all these little things that just simplifying your lifestyle down to this compressed compartment.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going from having a walk-in closet down to a small suitcase, right? You walk in.
It's an adjustment.
But you walk in, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I know what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing the black t-shirt and the shorts because that's all I've got, right? You don't have to spend 4 hours standing there and wondering what cardigan you're going to wear that day. It's a big difference when you simplify it. It gives you so much more time to enjoy each other. And I think out of all of it, that's been like the best thing ever. It's just the simplified everything. In this next section, we're going to try to be as mature as we can without giving you too much detail, and that is
rediscovering intimacy.
And being on the road full time gives you the perfect opportunity to rediscover intimacy with your partner, both emotionally as well as physically. Now, a perfect example of this for us is that we have a Thomas Paine, you know, that awesome quality furniture by Lippert. Well, we have a Thomas Paine theater seating in our little travel trailer, which means that, you know, it's 2 chairs combined with like an arm console to make a love seat. There's not any love happening in there. But, you know, it's been okay for 2 years, but I learned Karri's true feelings when
I don't like it.
Sliced a hole in it.
I'm glad he did it because I hate it. Because you can't snuggle with him like I like to cuddle up at night sometimes. And you got this big thing in the way and you can't do that. And I don't like it.
So I think one of the big things here is whether it's being in a cozy little environment inside your RV or being out by that campfire, or as Karri and I like to hold each other while we float in the ocean. There's all these little chances that you have to have these intimate moments. And when it's a physical thing, right, there's the emotional attachment. So when you have something where we're just cuddling watching The Breakfast Club or something,
we're just like
lines.
elbow to elbow because you can't get any further than elbow to elbow.
But by changing out that love seat for one that doesn't have an armrest and has all that room together, now
I'm going to use Bob's words. It's a game changer.
It is a game changer. And that moment that we have watching that movie or sitting by that campfire or being out in the ocean, that really does carry over into how we communicate as we go back to that and how we express ourselves and our emotions that change. It is a big thing just to have that chance.
You just feel a little more connected.
Absolutely. And that's a big thing.
It's a huge
we
thing.
had a house, a full house, and not a huge house. We're simple people, but enough that we didn't have to see each other all day, right? And now you're forced. So you really have to be in the zone, as we call it.
You have to be very much in like with that person.
Absolutely. And if you're not, it can force you back really quickly. We find out all the time why why we've been together for so long. It just reinforces that bond. And this last part really is something we've talked about quite a few times, and that is learning to
adapt together.
And that is not singular, that is together. And we've had quite a few situations that, required adaptation pretty quickly. And I'm not talking about just a travel day. I'm talking about everything that we've had to do.
You really have to be in tune with somebody. And a perfect example of that is when we moved the kids down to South Carolina. I followed behind Bob, and our son RJ kept an eye on me the whole time. And I knew, not talking to Bob, when he was going to make a lane change or when he was getting off an exit, or I knew what he was going to do before he even did it. And RJ was like, how do you, you're not reading his mind. But
we heard this
quite a bit
in both vehicles. We heard that, like, how do you guys do this? Like, you guys don't even, it's just you moved, she moved, and it was just straight back and forth. And that's because of so much time being spent together. We know how each other thinks. And that's a big deal. And that's why a lot of times in videos where Karri's quiet, because she's just shy by nature, I can pick up and cover that topic for her because I know what she's going to say. And it's really funny when we cover YouTube, and we'll talk more about this in future videos, but YouTube in general is an interesting thing where people have said, oh, we got criticized so much when we first started because she never disagreed with me. Because we've been married so long and we don't put ourselves in situations where we're going to disagree with each other. Or at least we try not to.
We have differences of opinion, but we've learned to talk it through so he understands where I'm coming from and I understand where he's coming from. You got to find that common ground.
And so what you guys see on the other end of this camera is a collaborative effort, again, between Karri and I, that as well, it's taught us that we've learned that common ground, and that's what we share out, because that's how we're thinking now. Yes, I have my own beliefs and Karri has hers as well, but we have learned as a couple to push those together, and that's the message that gets pushed out to you, because that is who we are. So when people see us in the RV parks, just like the great couple that we met a few minutes ago, everybody says, wow, you guys are no different than you are on camera. Well, that's the point. We've never tried to set out to be anything different than who we are, because that's what we've grown to be together. Very, you know, tough things that you need to do if you want to get that marriage together. You have to be there.
Yeah.
You know, you have, and if you're struggling through things, the best advice we can give anybody, if you're struggling in marriage and stuff like that, and you're looking to do this, if you're not both committed, it's not going to work. You both have to be committed to at least a common goal, which is freedom, or whether it be financial or just adventure freedom. You have to be united, and the rest of it, you can take your time to fall into place. You have to give each other space, and you have to give each other what's the word I'm looking for here? Finish my sentence.
Oh boy.
But you have to give each other compassion and communication, and be open, and if not, especially in a small space, it's going to implode. But this is really all these things that can make your marriage so much stronger, and just being here. And there's a million other things that go into this as well. But for the sake of this video, I think those are the top takeaways.
Absolutely.
Fair enough there?
Fair enough.
We do want to thank My Heritage, and again, that link will be in the video description, because I think this is one of those things that's really important when you talk about discovering each other. And something like this, where I'm as blown away, and they're not paying me to say this part at all, but I am so blown away that what I thought was 100% Italian is now like 11%. But that is something that we will work through and try to figure out ourselves.
To rethink my choice here, huh?
So much for that Italian guy. But we did promise you here, we're going to show Karri's results at the end and get her take on this. So we thank you for watching this video. And if you have something about RV life that has helped your marriage or made your marriage stronger, your relationship, leave it in
the comments below.
Because we'd love to hear all those happy marriage stories and ways that have turned lives around. Until next time, I'm Bob.
I'm Karri.
And this has been Life Redesigned. All right, thanks for sticking with us as we expose who Karri really is. I'm really excited.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. What is Iberian?
What is that?
That one I got to look up. That's a new one for me.
Oh, great.
This one makes sense because you're always correcting my English.
23.2%. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Now, I legit...
Irish, Scottish, and Welsh, 22.4.
Oh, boy.
But it's so even. Oh, wow. This is crazy.
I don't know.
East European, 14.7%. Who are you?
I have no clue.
Oh, wow. This is still going. North and West. Oh, you joined me with the European. Okay.
All right.
Wow. I hope our families aren't related.
Is that it? Oh, no.
Wow. But this is crazy. This shows you the whole map. Oh, wow. So
what
at
is
least,
Iberian?
That one we're going to have to look up. That is that's Spain and Portugal. No, yeah, that's crazy. We're going to have to look into this. Well, as we discover more about each other and who Karri really is. Wow.
That's disturbing. And it's really sad that I had no idea, like, French was the only thing, because my grandma spoke French, rather, when she was upset.
You catch us in a live stream. Next time we go live, we'll talk more about this and anything.
Oh, my
we'll give you an update. But we do want to thank, one more time, we want to thank My Heritage for allowing us the opportunity to share this with our audience. There's a link in the video description so that you can be as dumbfounded as we are about who you are.
I really need to look that up.
If you've done something like this, let us know in the comments below. Again, we'd love hearing your stories and seeing how this changed you. Karri and I are going to go spend the next 8 hours trying to find more relatives. And if there's anybody famous, we'll report back to you. Bye.
Bye.